I cut the video there, so we're keeping the theme. I slump out of bed and yawn, stretching my arms and crapping my spine a bit. Remember to stretch, kids. Remember to stretch. Yeah, if you're going to art school, you are 1% because here's the thing, right? Art is, until you're good, not profitable, and you need a lot of materials and supplies. Like tablets aren't cheap, art programs can cost a bit of money. Maybe you can figure out GIMP, I guess, but you know, a lot goes into it. Like time-wise, you need to go around and get inspiration. You probably need to have time to talk to people, collect feedback. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it that's not just putting a pencil to paper. That can cost some money and time and energy that rich people have more. Like if you're poor, you might work on a car. You might know how to cook because you have to take care of that yourself because your parents aren't around. You might have some skills and then you can build that into a career. Art isn't something you need to make your daily life work. You don't use art to fix a ladder. You don't use art to make your car run again on the hot morning when it just refuses to. You know? It's not a skill you're likely to have if you don't have the time and energy to throw around. I know your room is pretty nice. Pretty spacious. Dude, your room is fucking huge. I would like to point out my room is like what? Half of this? Probably way less. We don't know the width. But like, in the good dimension, my room is at least maybe a third of this. Maybe a third. Let's say half. Let's say half. Let's be generous and say half. Although a large portion of it is occupied by a slope. I'm under a roof, so I have a slope, which takes away some of my space. How I organize that also isn't helping, but I don't have this much room. It feels way smaller because of all the stuff I gotta cram into there. But yeah, Inko, fuck yourself. Your room is like you're like that Rimworld person who's like, my room sucks, and it's like a 10 by 10 tile room. The floor is made of gold, and he's got a royal legendary bed. It's the best bed around. He's like, my room sucks because one other person has a nicer lamp. I mean, I guess the space isn't useful. It's what you do with the space that matters, right? I wish my head over one of them. The one with my other clothes. Yeah, man. You know, just gonna tell you this. As someone who had like a cardboard character Mun stand-in for a while for kicks, you can draw a couple of cheap cardboard boxes and put them in the background for fun. It's just do it. I want them to look cheap. Come on. I mean, you're selling this for money, so people will get whatever. I'll get around to opening them at some point. Yeah, I know the vibe, man. I know the vibe. Right now, though, it's time for breakfast. It's time for brekkies. Brekkie! I shuffle downstairs into the heart of the house. The morning sunbeams are shining through the window and draw my eyes to look out over the new neighborhood. The driveway is empty. Yeah, your parents are gone. Looks like my parents are already gone for the day. No surprise there, really. It's all they ever focus on. I've really been thinking on that Trico thing a lot. Like, should I make him human? Should I keep him an insect? Is he adopted by different species? Because there's an interesting argument to make. He's an insect adopted by, I don't know, a human or a dinosaur couple. Is it a mixed thing? Like, all those elements can affect what kind of person comes rolling into that school. Has he never seen a dinosaur? Has he seen lots of them? Is Sebastian something new or not? And all these things is like, if yes, then how do I integrate into the larger story? How to make it work? Do I not make it work? Do I not make it apart? Do I keep it to the sidelines? Is it a thing that gets brought up once and then resolved? All those other things get me. I get stuck on the details. Isn't school at 8 a.m.? I don't know, man. I've had school at 8 a.m. sometimes. No surprise here, really. It's all they ever focus on. They don't even know they have a kid. A shiver runs up my spine as my feet step into the ice tiles of the kitchen. Get some floor heating. You're rich. You bingus. My eyes are drawn some taped up boxes that are so scattered around on the counters. I'm gonna run out of water at this point. Oh, man. He's getting fanged. Are they dead naming you? Are they calling you Anon? Anon Nito before they called you... the whole thing is about him getting dead named, but it only gets brought up 3 times, and when it gets resolved, it doesn't feel earned. There's a familiar sticky note in the fridge, and I don't even have to read it to know what it says. At this point, Mom's just wasting paper. Oh, capital M, cute. The least she could do is reuse the same note and add some small... Make some small addend... I'll put it the same sticky... Oh, this is fucking great. Okay, let me turn this off so I can talk at a reasonable volume. This is something that I've really thought about with the, Nothing to Something has a problem. As I mentioned, it treats time like it's not flowing at any reasonable pace. I have a serious issue with the fact... Like, listen, when I write the Fang body swap, right, it's perfectly sensible that protagonist Kun is, like, My parents, the Fang's parents, and then call them by their name because they're not Fang and they don't consider them their parents. So fuck it. You are not that. It's kind of weird to live with someone who are your parents for like 5 years and still call them by their goddamn names. Like, Anon, at some point, you just gotta go with the flow, buddy. It's just weird. It's just a little weird. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you write a fanfic, people aren't gonna start at chapter 5. They know who your mom and dad are. Like, it's been 5 years. Over 1,000 days, my man. 1,000 days. Come on. Over 100 months. You're not going to call them by their names anymore at that point. If just out of sheer convenience. It's also kind of weird that you have to imagine this, right? Anon has a lot of time to himself in that version where he is a baby and a kid and he's just sitting around waiting for time to pass. He's immobile for a year. Like he's in a hospital bed. Motherfucker, I shouldn't have to tell you this, but by the time he's in high school, he is like in his 40s comparatively, right? Like emotionally, he's had so much time to think and process, and that's why I say either his brain chemistry doesn't work, so he blacks out for a large portion of it, and it kind of clicks forward so we can skip the weird conversation that brings with it, because by the time he meets Olivia, when he's like 3, he's already technically 22 mentally, like chronologically. Like, there's something there that needs to be addressed and handled, and it isn't. But that's me, because I thought about a lot of this stuff, because I've had to really think about protagonist Kuhn's age, because I want him to be older than the main cast. I want him to be older than the high school kids. He's out of high school. He's had a job to some extent. I kind of like the idea of someone who's mature and thinks they're better, but also isn't, because he's not actually that mature, and he doesn't actually fully understand. You know what I mean? And on being bald related to Saitama. He just doesn't know he's got the punch yet, man. He just doesn't know he's got the punch. He's got that Nito Gravesword punch. Anyway, I just want to talk about writing for a brief second. The people in the recording are like, well, shut the hell up, dude, and play the video game. I have this, but I like the idea of like reason to post it. I snag a plate from the nearest drawer and open up the freezer. Why do I still have an update? Who's posting to me? Everything's still working, right? I'm just making sure that I haven't missed anything. No dropped frames. Okay, everything's still working. What the actual fuck is this guy sending me? Why are you bald, though? I always thought that, like, Anon was bald because he didn't want to bother with haircuts. But what is your excuse, Inko? What is your excuse? Is it a fashion statement? Do you like the shine of your glasses with the shine of your head? Do you polish? Do you apply waxes? Because if you're rich, you can afford some scalp waxes, man. You can make that bitch shine. Or give it a matte glow. You know, put some foundation on, make it uniform. I don't know. Like you're rich. Ham it up a little. Go to Scalp Waxers Weekly. Snag a plate from the nearest drawer and open up the freezer. No fresh produce to be seen. It's still mostly full of breakfast burritos. Yeah, because, like, everything else will just spoil, man. Yeah, I've been trying to appreciate ethnic cultures more. Okay, let's... I want to try something. Hang on, buddies. Hang on. Hang on! No se productos frescos. Pero aún queda la caja casi. Is that an I? Lena de burritos para el desayuno. No, that's desayuno. Sí, he estado tratando... No, wait. Sí, he estado tratando de apreciar mal la cultura étnica. There, I gave you some shitty. Listen, I'm just prepping you up. I'm just hyping you up for what's going to happen later. Man, that's a big set of words. But it's only 3. But they're big. Ooh. Why are your left and right so long? I mean, I know that links and rechts aren't very long, but they're still one syllable. Or actually, it could just be that, like, I know this about some languages. You can't just put left and right, because left and right need to be contextualized by something. So it's like, you can't say left and right location-wise. You have to say the right location and the left location, or it doesn't work. So, in some cases, like, it's a long word, but you have to, because contextually in the language, you can't just say left and right in that way. You have to specify its location. I don't know if that's the case here. I'm just saying that I know that languages can be funny like that sometimes. I mean, my native tongue just lets you cram words together. You can just do it. You can just do it. You can just put every word together, and suddenly you end up with a valid word that's like Hottentotten komt de toestellingverzekering, and everyone's like, what the fuck does that even mean? And it's like, it means something, you dingus. That was a smooth. He wears wigs in private. Oh, that's a great one. That's a great one. Plate loaded with a couple of minuscule flour-wrapped meals. Set in the microwave and wait for the burritos to hopefully not explode or burn inside. Ugh. While I wait, though, I check my phone. The saucy images are safe, by the way. Are they? Are they? I scan over my newsfeed and check out some of the people I'm subscribed to, hoping there's something to watch during my meal. On that note, oh, we can't see the gallery. Unfortunately, no one posts videos or streams this early. Yeah, of course not. They're like the streamers are asleep because they were up until 5 a.m. because someone paid them $50 to stay up for the marathon stream. And the videos get uploaded at evening when people are home because that's when they watch the videos. Safi casually drops his true name. That's not my true name. That's just a funny thing that Dutch people say when they want to make clear like how goofy the compound stuff can get. Bathing suits. So kind of like what they did in Volcano High, huh? I like that people from Volcano High are like, we don't like them making sexual art of our characters. And they still have... They have a bit... Listen, I understand that Goodbye Volcano High does not want to sexualize people who are barely legal. Technically speaking, everyone is 18 plus, I think. As far as I know, they're all of age. It's fine. In a legal sense, I still have some problems with the concept of barely legal, but that's not what's extrapolated. Here's a problem. You can't say that and then have a fucking anime-ass beach thing with... Like, you can't do that. Like, the whole point of the filler beach episode is to show off the ladies in the swimsuits. Or the guys, if you're into that. But you can't do that if you already complained about it. I'm just angry. I'm just very angry. Listen, if you can't say Misplislik, then I don't know what to say about you. Professor Purwotowski will be very disappointed in you. Listen, Rule 34 exists. Be a man about it. You're not getting rid of it without killing everything else. He's sometimes called Mixie. How do you pronounce his name, though? Here we go. Mixilpitzilik. Mitzipitlik. Mix, yes. Mix, yes. Pitlik. What the fuck? Or Mixelpilk. Mixelplick. Like multiplex. It's not that hard. My man's... Listen, I started speaking English when I was 7 because of cartoons being subbed. And it's also why I have a slight American accent because that's what they said in the Cartoon Networks. I've been speaking this for longer than most people have been alive who are watching this. Except maybe Como. But I can't beat Como at anything nowadays. I hope one day I can speak another language so fluently, so I can bully them in it. Maybe it'll be Spanish. Maybe it'll be German, because German is close. Now, German has like a lot of weird things that are different from Dutch. Like, you kind of, but also not. And it gets really weird. Unfortunately, nobody posts videos or streams this early in the morning, because again, it's not the time, you dingus. English is a required subject here in high school, and a lot of people are online and they know it. Although, admittedly, you can tell when they're learning because they speak in a very weird way. The R's aren't quite good because we don't have an R like this. We have a R. Let's see a good one. So they might say corn or corn. They'll like keep their jaws extra wide to accommodate. They're like, hey, American, because they don't want to. Because they don't. It's a lot tighter. A lot more time that wasn't snoot. Ooh. I'm still not looking. Not on live TV. I want to verify it before I show it on live TV. So I could say no. I guess I'll just watch a suggested video. I mean, those are fine. Like, I found a really fun 12-hour video. Listen, I'm going to recommend something for you now because I think it's a fantastic video and I think you should watch it because I love this guy's style. It is a YouTuber called The Bread Circus, and he did a brief analysis on the Phantom Menace. It is a 12-hour video because that's how long you can upload them, he says. I love this video. The way he goes into things, the way that he connects the lore and the characters and the viewing experience and what the writers were thinking as they introduced concepts and ideas and characters, I love it. It's not just, I don't like this character because he does this. It's like, the character should be doing this because that helps emphasize that. Like, it feels more analytical. When he looks at a video game, he's like, this is the tutorial level. So you want your tutorial level to be straightforward and to introduce the player to certain concepts. And here, they're going to use this enemy because this enemy's hard to hit. And so the play... I like that. It's a different style. I'm not used to it, and I love it. And it's inspiring. I need 5 seconds for my brain to reset. Excuse me. Got 7 likes and 18 viewers. I'm the rich kid now. I'm the 1% now, buddies. I'm the 1%. Let me pop some party poppers for the 1%. Yeah. All right. We're gonna go for like 30 to 40 more minutes, and then we're good. I showed up in this. I'm suggested. I'm famous now. I almost signed out of my YouTube because they moved the fucking menu around like a bunch of clowns, and now the sign out button is way too high. Like, what are you thinking? What are you thinking? No. Oh, sorry. I need some air. I'm killing myself. Woo! The recording does not need any of this, but I don't edit this stuff, and Como hasn't recommended me any shorts for Snook Game yet. I'm very angry. No, I'm fine with that. That was just a suggestion because you were looking at it through fresh eyes, and I'm not going to watch my entire thing over again just to find shorts in it. It was a fun idea, not a thing I legitimately care about. I mean, I care about it. I was planning to pay Como like half the proceeds, but then I realized there probably wouldn't be any proceeds because I get like 10 cents. I get 10 cents, baby. I get to stuff all of them in my back pocket. Oh, all of them. Where's my Snook Game playlist? I wanted to look at that. There it is. This song is neat, though. The first video is almost at 500 views. Oh, some others are too. Oh, God. Oh. Oh. Okay, so the highest ones that I can see are the one where the butt is in the picture, because I'm like, the butt is animated. It's got almost 1,800, or 1,700. Let's be generous, and 1,200 for the one where Nasser gives concise instructions, and it's the one where Fang is like giving the look. Don't forget, after this demo is done, we're gonna go on to that and do that some more. Yeah, the rest are around 100. Mr. Mixelplick, get out of here. I'm in the suggested box. I am the god now. Yeah. See, Inko and I, we got that in common. I'm going to kill myself if I keep this up because I'm going places I don't want to. I will fight myself with a kapla in the arena. I prop my phone up and click on something. You know, I actually bought like a phone case, like a very nice faux leather phone case, and I can like fold it up and it supports itself, which is really nice. So I can just put it down and take a little look. I've never used it, but it can if I ever need it. Oh, it can also do it vertically. That's so neat. That's so neat. The scene where I absolutely die is fantastic because I still die. Listen, I was legitimately not wanting to use that thumbnail with the butt because I felt that it kind of went against the point. I don't want to do clickbait actively, but I was like, you know what? It's the thing that was on my mind. It was like, man, there's animation now. Can't do that for this, though. If there's an animated butt, we will not get a thumbnail of it. It's just not special anymore. It doesn't have the staying power. By the way, I haven't actually looked at the background yet. We got a block of knives over there. I think that's another block of knives over there. Or is this something else? Maybe it's like a paper bag with some bottles sticking out. We got a whole bunch of fancy-ass glassworks up there. Cleaning supplies. Oh, damn, dude. At the ding of the microwave, I received my breakfast. Carrying it carefully so that I don't burn my hands. Yeah, hold the sides, man. I give the first burrito a test bite, and the inside is still cool. That is why you heat it up more than you need to, and you let it sit so the heat dissipates. Or you move it around a little bit so it gets those sweet spots, but you don't eat it straight out of the fridge if it's that big, buddy. That dense, especially. Again, Infamous Cloaker, I've seen a lot of fan art, and most of it references Snook Game. I don't want to stick it back in, though. Little Tia would just become a brick, then. Ugh. I shrug it off and continue. Just let the heat dissipate. I shrug it off, continue chewing, and watch my phone. What are you watching? It's That's Jacksepticeye, isn't it? Top of the morning, folks. I don't know his voice. By the time the video ends, I have finished at least half. I finished the last of the half of all burritos. Pocketing my phone, I slip the plate into the sink and head out for the day. This time, I'm at least getting through the day. Today, survival. Tomorrow, thrival. You're such a monkey. You're such a monkey thinking about surviving. Remember, Inko, I need to get that right. Just with Fang's pronouns, I just can't. Inko, monkey together, strong. Remember. Also, Inko has a lot of lapses. I don't know. With Anon, I didn't notice it much, but I'm really noticing that Inko does a lot of, like, ellipses. Which reminds me of when I was young and I really loved using ellipses in my writing. Like every single time I was posting things, it was ellipses. I thought I was cool integrating my pauses like that. Not as a criticism to this, but little baby me was using it wrong. I don't know if they're using it wrong. I just noticed that there's a lot of that more. Okay, but question: Do you hug Olivia by kneeling down, by sitting on the chair from behind? Like you gotta figure out the logistics before you get to the hug. We need to workshop this with our buddies. I'll work on it.